Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Arctic Edge Arena as we bring you action here on OU Hockey TV as the Sooners face off against Waldorf. We have a lot of things to talk about on this pregame show. Amy, why don't you get us started?
All right. It was a difficult weekend for the Sooners out in Arkansas. However, there were some standout performances, especially from some of the freshmen. Owen Carlisle, Fodrell with a hat trick in overtime. Despite those two losses, there was a lot of promise shown by the Sooners.
Yeah, the Sooners had those 2 overtime losses against Arkansas. Those will not count against them in the ACHA standings. So kind of think of it as like a preseason, if you would. Just as Coach mentioned, that when I caught up with him earlier, he was just trying to see what guys were ready and what guys needed a little bit more time to adjust.
Exactly, and I think to see how a lot of those younger freshmen fit into the roster, especially, and they're opening up their season against a relatively easy foe. Waldorf was 3-27-2 on the season last year. So this should hopefully be a good way for the Sooners to open up their season in ACHA play, but of course you can never count a team out.
And Coach showing a lot of excitement about the 2 of the many newcomers, Owen Carlisle and Jackson Fodrell. Fodrell, of course, had a 4-point weekend against Arkansas and even a hat trick in that third game. And that's being shown by them being put in the starting lineup tonight. That goes as Brendan Culbertson-Bond, the usual, in net. Nate Payne on the wing, as well as Carlisle and Fodrell up front. And then on defense, it's going to be Adam Goldstein and Carson Bassett.
Exactly, a lot to look forward to see some new, fresh faces. But speaking, while BCB will still be in net tonight, it was exciting over the past few weekends to see the depth of the new goaltenders we have. The Sooners now have 4 goaltenders this year to kind of back BCB up, so he doesn't have to carry such a heavy load as he had in past seasons. And that will be exciting. They look great in the scrimmage. They looked great last week in Arkansas despite the loss. And it'll be exciting to see some new faces in net for the Sooners.
Well, we have an exciting matchup upon us just a few minutes before puck drop. We will meet up with you guys then. Until then, make sure to drop a like, comment, or subscribe and really help our channel grow. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Arctic Edge as we have a packed house tonight for opening night against Waldorf. The Waldorf Warriors coming all the way down from Iowa. Forest Park, I believe, is the town. And what a great sight to see. It's been a long time since we've had you Sooner fans back into this arena for a game. We've got some Waldorf fans coming in, and an absolutely electric night.
Exactly, a great crowd for the home opener for the Sooners. I bet you're all as anxiously excited as we are, have been anticipating the start of the season for a long time. After what was a great end for the Sooners last season in the win against OSU, but a little bit difficult and missing out on playoffs in St. Louis. So the Sooners will look to avenge themselves, be better this season, and hope to get a playoff bid.
Centers line up for the opening face-off. Mackenzie Bolger from Sydney, Australia to take it against Owen Carlisle, who wins it and plays it back to Bassett, who dumps it in. Carlisle changes and chases after it. Gets tied up on the end boards. Payne fighting for it. Olmstead comes away, and then it's turned over. Fodrell centering feed there, looking for Payne. Couldn't find it. Goldstein collects on the blue line and then turns it over, and the other way go the Warriors. Here's the breakaway for Waldorf. Couldn't get there in time. Could Adams. And a fight in the corner goes on. Goldstein pins his man. Carlisle fighting for it behind the net. Gets it back for the Sooners. Fodrell plays it off his stick in the boards. Clears it. Waldorf goes off for a change. Bassett and Goldstein stay on there for the Sooners as a new crew comes on for Oklahoma. Shot blocked from at the point. Bassett turns it over. Lobs it along the end boards. Pass played back. Bolger has it for Waldorf, looking for an angle. Couldn't find it. Tried to play one in on BCB for a tip shot. Couldn't get it to go. Carson Glass scoops it up. Makes a spin move and a good one. Gets free. Sooners having a hard time clearing the puck. BCB makes a good save there just off his glove. Puck squirted free. Konak with a shot. Goes wide. Culbertson Bond didn't have to make a save, and that puck clears itself. Puck played in. McDonald turns it over to Nemeth. Cape for Waldorf turns it over to Carson Glass. Sooners looking a little sloppy here in their own defensive end to start this game. Eventually clear the puck. They're going to say no icing. It was tipped. Waldorf not too happy about that. Fodrell tries to lift a stick, and he does. He gets the puck, but he's got no help. 4 black jerseys versus 1 white jersey, and the puck goes the other way for the Warriors. A trip there's going to be called as Owen Carlisle was tangled up with Dominic Tays, and we get our first Sooner power play of the night just 2 minutes into this game.
And I think this is exactly what the Sooners would have hoped for. You mentioned earlier a little bit sloppy in their own defensive zone, and they were lucky to have the veteran netminder and Brendan Culbertson Bond in net for them to kind of keep things calm. But this is exactly what the Sooners need to turn the tide and try to get on the board.
So new power play unit. Aaron Best still out from that Arkansas game. He took a nasty hit there. Tristan Davison also out. So DuPont, Demanchuk, and Mondu will be the forwards for this power play. Willie Baird back there on right defense and Bassett on the left. Waldorf clears the puck off the face-off. Culbertson Bond will play it in behind his own net. Mondu pokes it forward. Diving Beckett for Waldorf was able to make a good defensive play there, and another clearance attempt successful. DuPont really struggling to get his legs under him here, and the Sooners go the other way with Mondu. Circles around the face-off dot, now in behind the net. Makes a disgusting move. Plays it back to Willie Baird, rips a shot, gets blocked. Now Demanchuk in behind the net. Plays it back to Goldstein, over to Baird. Back to the point for Mondu. Drop pass to Goldstein, shot looking for a tip, couldn't find it. Baird had a chance at a rebound. Puck was moving too fast. Demanchuk exits the zone with it. Looking to go the other way quickly, Matthew Demanchuk. Looking for a tough angle shot, couldn't get it. Good defensive play there by the Warriors. Puck clearance nearly hits us. Had that gone over the glass there. That was a small window. Now Goldstein drops it back for Carlisle. Makes a good move. Plays it up for Fodril. Dumps it in. Sooners got about 30 seconds left on this power play and just one shot to show for. Carlisle able to just hold it in at the point. And it was turned over Dick for Waldorf. Able to scoop it up, and Wallace makes the clearance there. So the Sooners really just that one chance.
Yeah,
so
not a lot
far.
to get going for the Sooners early on as they hope to rebound with just 10 seconds left in this power play.
Now Nate Payne fires a quick shot, saved. And they can't clear it. Carlisle's quick shot gets blocked. And that should do it for the power play. Puck cleared a little too late in the kill, and that will be icing.
Yeah, a little bit of a disappointing start, like you said there, for the Sooners. Not really able to get anything going, despite having puck possession in their zone most of the time. But this Waldorf defense has shown, like we said in the pre-show, this is why you can't count teams out despite their record. They're putting up a fight.
Matthew Loney in net, native of Highland, California, stands at 6 feet tall for the Warriors. Only had to face one shot so far as the Sooners look to win an offensive zone face-off that was taken prematurely by Bulger. Trying to get that sorted as it does. Waldorf comes away with the puck. Swearingen now plays it off the boards, dumps it back in on goal, so no icing. Vignaroli picks it up for the Warriors. Porter Wolk takes a spill and a yard sale. Up a nice move from Vignaroli. Reiger trying to pinch his man to the boards. Didn't get much of anything. Looking to cycle, Taze plays it back to Vignaroli, turns it over to Mondu. Couldn't get a good pass in the neutral zone going, but he ends up with it. Eludes a man. Demanchuk looking to chase Carney. Mondu has it in behind the net for the Sooners. Turns it over to Bulger. And that will be out of play. Should be an offensive zone faceoff for the Sooners.
Yeah, right through the net there. We always mention our Arctic Edge. If you're ever going to come and attend a game in person, you got to be careful with those nets. Can slip through the cracks, but the Sooners are going to hope that this will get them started. A few good looks and good plays by Ben Mondu. He was a star last season for the Sooners, so they're going to want to get him teed up early, get started as Tristan Glass lines up in faceoff dot.
Glass to take the face-off against Dominic Taze. Glass wins it. Puck played in. Not going to be icing because Tristan got there first. Battle behind the net. Sooners come away with the puck. Josh McDonald plays it in. Centering feed there, played on net. Loney with a quick stick there to force it out. Now DuPont has it. Gets it over to McDonald. Rips a shot. Scores! Josh McDonald gets the Sooners on the board with a wicked wrist shot from just about the blue line.
And pregame, we talked about the freshman, another freshman, and Josh McDonald getting the shot off early. It was looking like it was going to be another disappointing few minutes for the Sooners there, but Josh McDonald able to get them started off strong with a shot from the blue line. Everyone else was in the corner, no one covering him. Took an incredible shot, put the Sooners up 1-0 early.
The ginger with a mullet from Fort Worth, Texas is our opening scorer for tonight. We talked about him a lot during the red-white scrimmage, his size that he adds to this Sooners defense. He's just a gamer, and that's exactly what he did. Found a shot, got it to go in. The Sooners look to add another one here. We get a stoppage in play. Can't tell what the stoppage is for. We're still going to get an offensive zone faceoff for the Sooners. I'm not really clear on what caused that stoppage, but
And we apologize for any language that you might have heard back home, but
we do have a hot mic on our camera that
picks up everything.
picks up everything.
However, if you're a hockey fan, I'm sure you're used to it.
Bassett plays a shot, looking for some sort of rebound, couldn't get it. Fight along the blue line there for the Sooners. Has Waldorf coming away with the puck onside. Looked a little sloppy. Colbert Saban puts a shot into the corners for Monticelli to take it. He ends up dumping it. Vignaroli makes a good move. Turns over the puck, cleared away by Bassett, sent in for a line change. Poke check there by Mondu, nearly gave him a clean look on Loney. Ooh, collision there between Jacob Reiger. As Mondu has it in behind the net, centers it for Demanchuk, and there's that Arctic Edge goal coming off the post. Talked about it, happened so many times last year. You really want it to happen in situations where it's not a goal scoring opportunity, but can't really predict when these things happen.
Exactly, yeah, last year often up here in the booth we'd try to take the over-under on how many times those goalposts are going to come off their pegs, and that's the first one of the season. I'm sure it won't be the last.
Mondu loses the face-off. And the Warriors have it in behind the net, turned over. Wolk fights with it. Mondu comes away with it. These puck battles are what Coach Arvanitis wants the Sooners to be on top of 24/7. It's really one of the more important factors in a game when you look at it, because that determines puck possession. When you possess the puck, you score more. Levesque puts on a shot on Culbertson Bond, just right in his pads. Nothing too hard for the Sooner senior to handle. As icing here for Waldorf. They will get an offensive zone faceoff.
And we talked about the size earlier that players like our goal scorer Josh McDonald at 6'2", 200 pounds. But I think we also touched upon in the red and white game the speed. The Sooners have always been a quick team, but as the youth comes in, they seem to get even quicker. And it seems like Waldorf is keeping up pretty good with the speed. So this will be a pretty quick matchup between the two teams.
Offensive zone faceoff for the Warriors. Mondu to take it for the Sooners. Can't get a number on the center for, there it is, Hunter Beckett for the Warriors, the 5'9" native of Craig, Colorado. Mondu puts on a hit on to Beckett. Two Sooners pinning Warriors against the boards, and gets a little chippy as Mondu gets taken down. Beckett just wrapped an arm around him and tackled him essentially, but can be deemed as 50-50. No need to call a penalty there. And there's a penalty though, as a Sooner got dumped. That was Mondu who just got swept off his feet. Really dirty play. We'll look to see if there's any sort of retaliation, but right now the Sooners have an extra attacker. They will go on the power play here as soon as Waldorf touches it. But right now it's just Owen Carlisle taking it away for the Sooners. He plays it on to Nate Payne. Here's that top line for Oklahoma. And it's touched up. It's definitely going to be a roughing. Looks like it's going to be against the captain, Hunter Beckett. Just kind of took a shot at Mondu in the neutral zone. It's going to be a cross check.
The two of them seem to be kind of going at it a little bit earlier, pushing and shoving before and after that eventual penalty. And the Sooners weren't able to capitalize on their last power play. However, it did give them some good energy after. I'm sure Coach Arvanitis, though, would like them to get something going on this power play to really set themselves dominant ahead. That
second unit out there for the Sooners as Waldorf comes away with the face-off and dumps it all the way down. BCB to play it in behind his net. He just leaves it for Goldstein, but he's got a man on. Now short-handed. Puck played on BCB. Yeah, this is just sloppy defensive zone possessions for the Sooners. That's not really allowing them to create anything offensively. They would like to see some passing lanes open up and other things and aspects of the game that are so vital for offensive production, but it all starts in the defensive zone, and right now the Sooners are struggling.
Exactly, not the start to this power play that they would have wanted, taking the face off in their defensive zone right now. And like you said, just kind of being a little too carefree with that puck, letting it pass, and luckily they have a veteran goaltender in net, but the players going to need to step it up if they want to show out on offense.
Just south of a minute 40 on the power play for the Sooners. They have to start all the way down and come all the way back up with Mondu. Leading the charge once again. He hasn't gotten on the board yet. Oh, he takes a nasty hit. Clean hip check there by Taze, and he lays another hit. Excuse me, that's Nemeth for Waldorf. physicality ramped up. Here's a shot from Bassett on a one-time. Couldn't go in, and
I believe the goal came off.
yep, it sure did. Demanchuk took a spill. Couldn't tell if that was just from his own doing or if he caught a stick up in his leg or something that took him off his feet, but he was fighting the puck along the netting, and that's inevitably what led to the net being dislodged for the second time tonight.
Yeah, definitely not the poised level of play that where the Sooners left off last season, but this is only their third game, the first counting towards ACHA play.
Carlisle to take the face off. He wins it. Goldstein elects to just kind of dump it in, trying to find Payne. He gets beat. And now Waldorf has a chance shorthanded. Pass gets picked off by Goldstein. Good defensive play there. Playing back, and now the other way goes Carlisle. Makes a nice move, does Owen Carlisle. Plays it back to Goldstein. He's got a lane. Fodrell with it now, looking for a one-time. Pass now, Tristan Glass's backhand trying to center for Payne. Had a yawning cage in front of him, but the puck was on end. He couldn't get a stick on it. Now a chance here for Glass, and the puck goes off the post. Good look there for Tristan Glass. Couldn't get it to go. Sooners cycle again. Carlisle, his shot gets blocked. Puck played down to Glass. Now over to Carlisle. Back to Goldstein at the point. One time, Fodrell on Loney. Puck still loose. But they blew it anyways. And we get a stoppage in play. 15 seconds left on the power play. That looked a lot better for the Sooners.
I was going to say that's exactly what you want to see from them on offense, getting the puck around. A bunch of Sooners getting shots on goal. Unfortunately, the shot on goal counter is not working on our clock here in the arena. We will get that to you during first intermission, hopefully. But some of the freshmen, Fodrell, Carlisle, coming in really making an impact. And those were the players that Coach Arvanitis was impressed with over the weekend in Arkansas, and they're continuing to try and make an impact.
Bells for the Sooners, plays it back to McDonald, the most recent goal scorer. Rips a shot that gets blocked. Horn with it. Plays it in deep to Bells. Puck cleared and on net for BCB. Looking to play it quickly. Gets it over to Monticelli, who turns it over. Shot swallowed up by BCB. No rebound chance. There's a couple of extracurriculars take place in front of the net. Sooners protecting their goalie.
I think if you've been tuned into this game, you could predict that it was going to go that way. A little bit of pushing and shoving earlier, 2 penalties for Waldorf. And things are starting to get a little chippy between the Sooners and the Vikings. Or Warriors, excuse me.
They have a Viking helmet, but their mascot's the Warriors, so might make a few mistakes on that tonight. Tristan Glass wins the faceoff for the Sooners in the defensive zone. Connor Horn plays it over to Jacob DuPont. Wallace on the defensive things, plays it back to Vignaroli. Scoops it up. Horn fans on the clearance, but it ends up working. Broken play here for the Sooners. Tristan Glass on goal. Blocker save for Loney. Another chance here for Monticelli. He couldn't get it to go. Cavalcanti with a wraparound rebound, and he couldn't get it as DuPont gets cross-check to the face. Cavalcanti's going to want to have some words.
Tristan Glass, the leader that he is, trying to calm down his teammates, not wanting them to take any unnecessary penalties. What a flurry of opportunities for the Sooners there.
Good job there from Matthew Loney. Freshman goaltender he is, so it's not easy coming in to face one of the better ACHA teams your first show out of the season, especially on the road.
Incredible job to keep composed there and keep it 1-0 for his team.
Sooners end up winning that face-off in the offensive zone. Carney plays it up for Waldorf. Slapped away by Swearingen. Now the ice is starting to tilt a little more in the Sooners' favor there. They're starting to get their legs underneath them and finding those passing lanes. That pass gets picked off by Demanchuk. Has it on his backhand around the face-off dot. Puck played in on the net. Mondu looking for a shot, couldn't get it to go. Puck still held in by the Sooners. Good O-zone time for them. Demanchuk plays it down to Porter Wolk. And eventually the Warriors come away with it. Bolger looking to spring forward. The Waldorf offense ends up just losing the puck. And it's played in on BCB. Hughes swallows it up.
And some more pushing and shoving as the both teams going for a line change. For a face-off, that'll be in the defensive zone for the Sooners.
Tays, Capel, and Nemeth out there to take the face-off against Carlisle, Fodrell, and Payne. Tays takes a quick shot, fought off by BCB. Fodrell collects and ends up dumping it. Tays trying to play for a pass there. Puck ends up going off a Payne stick and into the Waldorf zone. Pass misses Fodrell by inches. He would have had a good chance there with Payne on the wing. Nemeth takes it away for the Warriors, skates around Carlisle, plays in a quick shot, looking for a tip by Cape. Fodrell collects. Wallace holds it in at the line for the Warriors. Pass played all the way down. Capel skates through the neutral zone around the red line, dumps it in. He's got Anderson on the left. Waldorf was making a change, so there wasn't really much help there for that chance. Physicality ramping up here as Carson Glass and Covenant exchange blows as McDonald looking for the best option here. He just fires it deep. Glass comes away with it. That is Carson looking to get the puck on end. He's kind of wobbling for a bit. Now Glass goes down in the corner. He's pinning the puck with his skate. Can't really get up. Now he does. He comes away with it, gets it to the point to Horn, whose shot goes well over the netting and out of play. 6:31 left in the first period. Sooners taking that lead from a wicked wrist shot by Josh McDonald, and shots now up. I believe 8 is the count that we have for the Sooners. I don't know what the count is for Waldorf. If I had to guess, I would say it's around 3 or 4.
Yeah, so the Sooners outgaining Waldorf so far.
DuPont. Horn trying to keep it in at the blue line, doesn't. Gets taken down. We're going to get a penalty here against Waldorf. Should be an interference. We have some more extracurriculars. Waldorf confused why there's a penalty, but I saw it clearly as an interference.
The refs are trying to figure out.
He's saying, I don't care who goes. We're getting a hold, actually.
And it will be.
Kirill Konak will take a seat in the sin bin.
The freshman from Toronto stands at 6'4". A big presence that'll be missed for Waldorf. But as you mentioned, the Sooners are heating up, and this will be their third opportunity to score a goal. Hoping to go up. I think coming out of this period, 1-0 would be a little bit disappointing with the amount of opportunities they've had with these power plays.
Absolutely, and it's so easy to obviously equalize in this sport. So getting that 2-goal lead would be crucial here as the first period winds down. Waldorf wins the opening faceoff. Puck couldn't be held in. Willie Baird had to do a ballet to try to get his balance. Carson Bassett skates through the defensive zone, drops it off for DuPont, loses the puck. Shot played in by BCB. He's just going to hold on to it.
Elected to cover it, and I think that was a smart move given the few times that the Sooner defense has kind of let him down a little bit. Nothing yet, obviously, as Waldorf has yet to score, but I think it was the smart choice to kind of keep things on the Sooner side.
It's power play unit for the Sooners. Mondu, Fodrell, Mondu, DuPont, Demanchuk, and Willie Baird, as well as Carson Bassett. Willie gets taken down. Don't know why that's not called, but Carson Bassett plays it in to Mondu. Back to Bassett. Over to Baird. Flicks on a shot, blocked by Wallace. Back to Baird. Sooners looking to set up here and try to find a lane. Baird skates towards the net. Saucer pass played on to Baird. Quick shot! Couldn't find the space, but it was there.
frustration from Baird. And Mondu too as well, put his head in his hands. That shot was so close, thought it might have squeaked by, but Matthew Loney doing an incredible job in net.
Yeah, an absolute disgusting saucer pass from Mondu on that to connect. Baird had about 7 inches of space to work with to get that over Loney's shoulder. Ends up just going off his blocker, but that was definitely the Sooners' best look on this power play as it's almost halfway done. Carlisle to take the face off out there with Glass, Payne, Goldstein, and Fodrell. Fodrell gets hit hard, and the other way goes Dick for Waldorf. It's hit hard by Goldstein. Waldorf's come close to having chances shorthanded. They haven't really gotten anything generated, but the opportunity's definitely been there. Obviously, they don't want to play things too aggressively and have the Sooners counter on the power play.
Exactly. They've already had 3 penalties on the night, and we still have 4 minutes to go in this first period, and they're going to want to keep those penalties to a minimum to try to get scoring, but incredible showing so far if they can keep out of the box.
Adam Goldstein takes it all the way for the Sooners. Ends up just kind of losing the puck. It's a very strange attempt at a Kucherov shootout goal. I think Loney read that all the way through.
Yeah, close one there for
Sooners'
Nate Payne
biggest defenseman taking it all the way down.
Exactly, yeah. I think it was a tough one for Nate Payne not to hit there, but Loney covered it just in time.
17 seconds left for the penalty called against number 17. As the Sooners win the faceoff, Monticelli trying to get a quick shot, swept away by Loney. Now McDonald with another chance, blockered away by Loney. That was going on target, but he didn't get all of it. And that will do it for the Sooner power play. Waldorf kills another one. BCB had to come out quick to play that puck. It's sprung forward for Monticelli. If he can get a stick on it, it'd be a chance for the Sooners. Glass, shot goes wide of the net. Capel plays it over to Nemeth. Bell's trying to play the puck. Carson Glass comes free. Bender gets it over, and now McDonald back over to Monticelli, gets it to Bells, didn't really have an option. Sooners still with the puck. Monticelli on his backhand along the end boards. Swings it around, puck held in at the point by Connor Horn. He plays it back deep. Waldorf able to exit. Oh, and Horn was trying to swing that in and ended up clocking Monticelli in the face. That can't feel good. The other way, Waldorf can't get their passing going, and this has allowed the Sooners to counter here with Cavalcanti. Wrist shot blockered away. Bolger. Waldorf starting to get frustrated with the amount of times they're turning over the puck. You can hear it from the benches as they try to play one deep. BCB just gets it tucked under his blocker and takes a shot, does Mackenzie Bolgers. He tried to poke it free. Sooners are going to take a liking to that.
And Monticelli over on the bench seems to be okay, getting checked out by our incredible medical staff, Anita Clark and her team.
That'll definitely wake you up. It's not how you want to be woken up, but we get a defensive zone face-off. Bolger versus Mondu here. Bolger comes away with it, but wins it too good. And that puck's cleared for the Sooners. Porter Wolk comes charging in. Connick loses the puck, takes a slash. Porter Wolk, good work there to play it around the boards. Connor Horn back for the Sooners. Gets it over to Mondu. Mondu evades his man, now turns the other way in the neutral zone. Connor Horn plays it in. He's got Demanchuk on the wing, plays it into Mondu. Just a little too far. Demanchuk behind the Sooners net, tries a wraparound attempt, fought off by Loney. Puck in deep for Mondu, trying to center it. No Sooner was there. Bolger comes away with it. Only Goldstein's back there, and a good defensive play there by the Sooner defense as that shot's fought off the boards. Sooners come away with it. Demanchuk clears it, nearly shoots it into the bench. Vignaroli the other way, gets stepped into by Goldstein. Now a chance here for Waldorf. Shot, rebound, And a good save there by Brendan Culbertson-Bond as 2 quick chances from Anderson, and the Waldorf Warriors get silenced by BCB.
An incredible flurry of opportunities there for the Warriors. Shocked one didn't go into net there, but somehow it was difficult for the Sooners, it seemed, to get that out of their zone. They were not able to clear it. The Warriors just in the right place at the right time.
Dick wins the faceoff for the Warriors. Wallace shot from the point gets blocked by Fodrill, and now the Sooners have a 3-on-2. Carlisle takes it in, has space. Owen Carlisle shot fought off by Loney. Collision behind the Sooner net. Payne trying to poke it free. Nate Payne going against Wallace. Fodrill with it for the Sooners. Gets it to Carlisle. He's got Sooners in space in the slot. Couldn't get it to him. Fodrill and Wallace get caught up. Payne and Anderson as well. And the puck squirts free. Koivunen plays in a shot. Puck dribbles into BCB. And he swallows it up, no problem.
Just a minute left in this first period. And once again, it looks like the ice is tilting in favor of Waldorf. They're getting a lot of chances over there in the Sooner zone. Unable to make anything of it yet, and I think you can see that in the frustration of their rising physicality so far.
It's going to take a lot to break the ice against BCB, and they're finding out that the hard way. They found out last year, too. The Sooners ended up starting the season last year against Waldorf, swept both those games in Iowa. BCB had an outstanding start to that year. Has a chance here for the Sooners. Just under a minute now. McDonald has to race back, and he wins it. They wanted an interference call, but I think he played that well. Bells ends up just dumping it in. Should be icing, and it is.
And some great discipline there by Josh McDonald, our goal scorer, to keep his team from getting a penalty. That's not what they need right now. While it seems like Waldorf is kind of heating up over on their side. Looks like Horn and Tays will take Glass, Carson Glass and Tays will face off.
Something the Sooners haven't seen is a two-way defenseman, and if that's what McDonald can become for Oklahoma, that would just add such a key asset for their offense. Saw him make some good plays so far as that puck went out of play, and get some players going down in the kind of the dead spot where we can't really see things just behind the Sooner bench. Seems to just be coincidental contact. Referees deciding where to put the face-off. They're going to bring it outside the blue zone, so that's a huge help for the Sooners as they just look to close out the period. We talked about them probably wanting to get that 2-goal lead, but unless a miracle happens, it looks like things are going to stay 1-0, but we will see. Carson Glass plays it all the way down. Wallace, the defenseman for the Warriors, tries to shoot it forward, gets picked off by McDonald. And Glass runs into a body, 15 seconds left in the first. Sooners covering the passing lanes well in the neutral zone. Vignaroli has to just keep the puck, gets ran into by 3 Sooners. And now McDonald shoots it around, puck leaves the zone, and that will do it for this first period. Your Oklahoma Sooners lead the Waldorf Warriors 1-0.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a rough, slow start for the Sooners there at the beginning. We saw a bunch of defensive miscues from them, but able to pick it up, and it was the defenseman, the freshman Josh McDonald, who got the scoring started for the Sooners. And like you said, if he could become a two-way defenseman, that could be a great asset to this team.
Well, we will be back with your first period intermission report shortly. Don't go anywhere. Thank you for tuning in to OU Hockey on OU Hockey TV. Welcome back, Sooner fans. Oklahoma jumps out to that 1-goal lead about halfway through the first period. Josh McDonald gets on the board. The defenseman coming up strong.
Yeah, exactly. Great shot, beautiful shot from the blue line. And you mentioned earlier it'd be great to have someone like Joshua McDonald be a potential two-way defenseman. The Sooners haven't seen one of those in a while, and it'd be a great addition. And talk about another freshman making an impact. Vogel had a 4-point weekend and a hat trick in Arkansas. Carlisle made quite an impression. To see another Sooner light up the roster has been incredible, and kind of a pattern for the past few years.
Yeah, and Waldorf didn't necessarily get on the board, but we have the shots updated on the scoreboard, and it's 16-15 in favor of the Sooners. So in that department, things were close, but they kind of had some issues going offensively.
Exactly, yeah. I was kind of shocked, to be quite honest, that they weren't able to get one on the board, but it just seemed like things weren't able to come together at the right time. A lot of times they had the momentum when the Sooners were on the power play, so they were man down, and just a lot of effort going into there, but not much to make of it. And I think a lot of that has to do with veteran netminder Brendan Culbertson-Bond for the Sooners. There were quite a few defensive miscues for the Sooners in front of the net, and I think having that veteran presence in front of them really helped the Sooners stay ahead.
Absolutely, and as you mentioned, the Sooners did go 0 for 3 on power plays in the first period. They were able to get a lot of chances on them, and that's where majority of their shots came from that were tallied in this period. However, they just weren't able to bury it past Loney.
Exactly. I think Loney did a great job, and we mentioned earlier he's only a freshman, so to come in and face this pressure on an away team's ice was incredible, but the Sooners have to continue to capitalize on those opportunities and work with the power play. They also had quite a slow start in the beginning, which is a repeat from last year, and something that they'll definitely want to work on just to get some momentum going earlier, and hopefully, coming off of a period where they had 3 power play opportunities and still being only up 1-0. Of course, great to be ahead, but probably a little disappointing that score deficit isn't a little bit bigger.
We saw a different look for the Sooners offensively and on their roster against Arkansas, and that was, as we talked about in the pregame show, Coach wanting to try new players and new things just to see who was ready. But we've also seen some old faces get scratched from this game. Will Blake and Tristan Davison aren't out there. Aaron Best as well, but that's due to injury. And so the Sooners are definitely still kind of trying to find their ground this season and establish who they want to be.
Exactly, and I think we saw at the red and white scrimmage an incredible amount of competition between these young freshmen coming in. They're not messing around. They want to make their names. They want to get permanent spots on this roster, and they're threatening some of those upperclassmen, and I think that'll be great for the team overall because, of course, their upperclassmen aren't going to give up their spots easily, so they're going to want to fight for this, and I think this will only make this team even better.
We saw the game start out pretty physical, a couple penalties due to that physicality, some retaliations on Ben Mondu, and we kind of look to see that pick up even more as the game goes on in ACHA hockey.
Exactly, at ACHA we always say you can be ready for a few fights throughout a game, and I think that'll definitely continue. Hunter Beckett, captain for the Waldorf Warriors, with one of those penalties, and he's leading his team, and he was ready to show out that physicality. I think they're a little bit frustrated, like you said, by the amount of chances they've had and unable to make those go through, so I think we can definitely expect to see that continue throughout the second and third periods.
Well, we have some exciting stuff coming your way shortly. Don't go anywhere. You are watching OU Hockey on OU Hockey TV. Welcome back, Sooner fans, to the start of this second period. Amy, you and I were just talking about this amazing crowd. Peyton Monticelli in attendance from OU softball. Big congratulations again to her and the rest of the OU softball team for winning one of many World Series that they have in the past. They just continue to be a dynasty in the collegiate softball world.
Exactly. And speaking of dynasty, earlier today, Patty Gass We apologize for that. Technical difficulties up here in the booth without our normal producer, Dr. Shaw, as we like to call him, Caleb Shaw. We apologize for that.
Things are finicky up here. You breathe and something gets unplugged, so that ended up was the problem. So hopefully that shouldn't happen again, and if it does, we know what it is. Fortunately for you guys, you didn't miss much. A couple of shots for Waldorf, just about the only thing that's happened here. Tristan Glass in behind the net for the Sooners. Gets hit hard by Carney. DuPont scrambles. Puck comes loose to Baird. Sizzles one on Aloni, and that is swallowed up easily.
As we mentioned earlier, a great crowd here in support of the Sooners, and also a great amount of people who traveled a great distance to support the Waldorf Warriors.
Yeah.
As we said, Peyton Monticelli, her brother, is on the team this year. Nate Monticelli, part of the OU softball dynasty, and earlier today, Patty Scasso had her statue unveiled outside of Love Stadium, a great tribute to that amazing program, and her brother Nate hopes he can do the same thing on the ice here for the Sooner Hockey Club.
Absolutely, an exciting time for Sooner Athletics. Football has their homecoming game tomorrow against Tulane. As Swearingen slaps one on net, Loney fights it off easily. Glass was looking for a tip and he couldn't get it. That one played off of Dick and swallowed up by Loney.
And the Sooners are kind of picking up where they left off. The ice tilted a little bit in their favor, getting a few more shots on net, but the Warriors have been able to keep up in the time that we were slightly away.
Yep, Sooners answer back with a couple quick shots. Wouldn't really call them quality scoring opportunities, but gets them on the board in that department as a premature face-off by Clark. And the Warriors will have us redo things in the offensive zone. Carlisle for the Sooners to take it. Wins it. Swearingen trying to find a tight corner there to put it in on Loney. Couldn't. Now Carlisle has it in behind net. Plays it back to Jacob Reiger. Shot came loose there in the slot momentarily. Fought off and cleared by the Warriors. Shot played on BCB, fights it off. Beckett couldn't get a rebound. Now he gets another chance there. Puck just hobbled off the end of his stick. Clark cycling here for the Warriors. Gets stepped into by Swearingen. Not enough to call it interference, and the other way goes Nate Payne. Floats one on Loney. And another offensive zone face-off here.
A little bit of pushing and shoving between Zachary Bender, the senior, and Nate Payne for the Sooners. And we said we figured there's going to be a little more physicality going into this second period as the Sooners look to add on to their lead and the Warriors look to add on to the board.
It's Mondu to take the face-off here with McDonald, the only goal scorer of the game so far, and his partner Horn on the right. And it slips away from Horn. Sooners have to touch up onside. Now they enter the zone cleanly. Demanchuk chases after it. McDonald steps up into a man. Puck comes free in the neutral zone. Wolk dumps it in behind Loney. Mondu collects, centers it for Demanchuk, and he couldn't get a good stick on it. Puck stays in play. Demanchuk behind the net. That floated in the air for a while. Good job there by Porter Wolk to turn the puck over. Good forechecking by the Sooners. Mondu has it along the end boards, plays it back to McDonald. Wrist shot blocked by a Warrior defenseman. Horn knocks down the puck that was sent in by McDonald. Sooners looking for a change here. They get one. Cavalcanti steps on. Looking to puck jack Loney, couldn't find it. Puck sent all the way down. Bassett has to skate to win the icing, and he does against Bolger.
A few shots there from the Sooners, but not too many of quality, a little bit off the side of the net. And I have to say that Waldorf defense, while there was a little bit of an opportunity there for the Sooners, I think they're doing a great job of being in the right place at the right time for their goaltender, Matthew Loney, trying to eliminate those chances, doing great at catching those rebounds, but unfortunately unable to clear a lot of times, keeping it in for the Sooners.
We'll see who made the better adjustments throughout this period. So far, the Waldorf Warriors look to have the better ones defensively, at least. Offensively is really where they needed the most help, and we'll see what happens here as Bolger tries to enter the zone. Puck played over to Cavalcanti, loses it. Molstad coughs it up, and puck played in. Should be icing, isn't, because it's played by Loney. But why did they call it? Because it was played by Loney.
And some frustration from the Sooners.
That doesn't make any sense. That's not how that works, but oh well. They should bring this out to the face-off dot center ice, and it seems like they will. The linesman's getting a talking to by the head official just to make sure they're on the same page that that's not an icing if the goalie plays it when it's dumped in from an icing point.
You can always look in for some interesting calls sometimes in ACHA hockey, but it seems that the refs will get it right in the end, bringing the puck draw back to center ice. And the Sooner faithful, Monticelli, getting excited, getting some cheers on the sidelines.
Great to have your bigger sister in the crowd supporting you. Goldstein plays the puck over to Bassett. Bell's fighting hard. Hits the glass in behind BCB. Carlson with a shot that gets blocked by the skated Goldstein. Over to Carney, who gets stood up. Puck battle there, comes away with Waldorf. Shot blocked by Monticelli. Good job there by the freshman. And now a chance here for Monticelli on a breakaway, but Loney gets there just in time to cut it off. And the other way goes Taze. He gets stood up into by Swearingen. What a hit. Carson Glass for the Sooners. Plays it off. Sooners have to touch up. Monticelli dumps it in. He gets hit by Taze. Boy, Nemeth got rocked by a freight train in Blake Swearingen, and Capel skates around Reiger. Swearingen's still out there. Plays it all the way around. That's icing. And it is. What a sequence of events there. Monticelli with a solid shift. Puck just a little too fast and evades his stick blade. Loney plays it, and then the other way goes Nemeth for the Warriors, and then he gets rocked by Swearingen. So
exactly, the fifth-year senior, 6'2", a big presence, not someone you want to run into, and he's been a solid core of this Sooner defense for quite some time. Exciting to see him still contribute to this team.
Defensive zone face-off won by the Sooners. We've seen them really clean that up well. Waldorf has to touch up here, and they're able to clear. Couple of turnovers both ways. Leaves Anderson charging through the neutral zone. And breakaway here as BCB makes a good save there. Kind of hard to tell what was happening with the puck.
Exactly, lots of movement in front of the net, excuse me. And definitely some extracurriculars happening after that play. No penalties so far this period. Shots are even, 19-19 for the Sooners and the Warriors.
That physicality ramped up so much. Look to see more of that coming as this game remains tight. Head referee making sure everybody's set on the face-off dot. Puck gets dropped, won by the Sooners. Demanchuk gets stepped into by Vignaroli. Now the other way goes McDonald. He's got a man on, takes a hit hard. You can see that coming from a mile away. Now the other way go the Sooners. Bells enters the zone, plays it off for Demanchuk. Gets stepped into. Demanchuk, quick shot, goes wide to the crease. Now Bells with a quick shot. And extracurriculars, and there's Mondu again. Getting into the face of, I believe that's Kirill Konik.
And that was who had, Kirill Konik was the player who had the penalty before for Waldorf on a few hits against Mondu. The two of them not seem to be very close friends.
They're wanting to grab someone. I think, yeah, they're wanting to grab Mondu. And someone else for Wall. I don't know if it's a 4-on-4 situation or if it's just going to be a power play for Waldorf. See if anybody enters the box. They won't. So this will be the Warriors' first look at the power play here. Mondu in the box for roughing. First chance to really get a good look at the Sooner penalty kill. They did all right against Arkansas last weekend, but that wasn't really a good look because it wasn't their top units out there. Now Adams with it for Waldorf. Gets blocked by Glass. Sacrificing the body on that was Carson Glass. Adams gets an entry in. Waldorf has it. That's Bolger. Behind the net for the Sooners. Horn comes away with it, clears it, kept in by Adams. Molstad dives at it. BCB swallows it up. And 30 seconds bleed off here on the Warriors penalty, or power play, excuse me.
30 seconds, but it felt like a lifetime there for the Sooners. A lot going on in front of the net. An incredible job there, BCB at the end to keep it out. It looked like McDonald got a little bit tangled up there in the net, but was able to come out and support his netminder. But Waldorf hot off at the beginning. 1:30 remaining in their power play.
One Glass exits the ice, another enters as Tristan. Oh my God! Sooners win the face-off. And that puck was shot at about 100 miles an hour, nearly hit me in the leg. That went just down.
Just north of the Waldorf bench.
Really,
Not many safe spots here at Arctic Edge Arena.
Waldorf bench making sure I'm okay. I am. Scared me a little bit, but it's kind of the position you get in when you come up into the crow's nest here to broadcast games.
Keeps us on our toes.
Definitely does. Shot tipped, goes out of play. Vignaroli had a good look there for the Warriors. That puck took an early deflection off the shot and then took another deflection off a Sooner defenseman in front of the net. Minute 19 left. Tristan Glass, Goldstein, Adams, quick shot. BCB fights it off. Rebound loose. Bolger has a look. BCB fights it off again with his stick. Just trying to clear it. Are the Sooners capable on his backhand? Tristan Glass fights it, gets it, loses it, and clears it. Waldorf wanting a hole that probably should have been called. Would have given the Warriors a 5-on-3 look for about a minute. They have to start things over as they skate the full length of the ice. Sooners cut it off. Payne clears it on his backhand. That cuts off a good chunk of time. Sooners looking to pressure in the neutral zone. Not a lot of these zone entries, but they do a good job of it again here. Waldorf forced offside.
And sigh of relief for the Sooners there. I think they're just starting to look a little bit scary, but they were able to get a few cleans in there. Might have gotten off the hook with a missed hold call. But Waldorf came out of that first period hot, and they're ready to strike in the second period. So the Sooner defense has to remain on their toes, be more poised than they were in that first period.
Tays wins the faceoff against Carlisle. Horn just trying to slap it around the boards. He didn't get a good chunk of it, so it ends up back in a Waldorf stick. Carlisle now can't get it cleared. Pelegi, shot goes wide. Horn for the Sooners. Nemeth now for Waldorf, behind the net. Cycles it back to Pelegi, and he loses it off his stick, and that should do it for the Waldorf power play. Good looks there for the Warriors, but the Sooners defense remains strong, suffocating those neutral zone plays as Horn steps into his man. And that should be icing against the Sooners, and it is. Horn with an open ice hit there, right on the crest.
Exactly, some big hits against Wallace. And the Sooner penalty kill looking much better than it was in Arkansas. Again, not representative without having their top line out on there, excuse me. Some frustration bleeding over from the Waldorf bench. I think their coaches, their team, and even the Sooners would say they've had some quality shots so far, just unable to get anything in the back of the net.
So another offensive zone faceoff here for Waldorf post power play. They had good looks, weren't able to get on the board. BCB still having a strong night. I'm going to say no icing, that was deflected. Sooners looking to forecheck here. Bells steps into a man. Carson Glass holds the point. Puck kept in. Willie Baird throws a stick at it. Turned over, now here comes Goldstein. Avoids a collision there. Bells plays it back. Willie Baird now looking for a Sooner forward to pass it to. Finds Bells. Puck squirts into Loney, and he swallows it up for a frozen puck and a stoppage in play as we get an offensive zone face-off for the Sooners now.
A close opportunity there, but Carson Glass was just a hair away from being able to get in front of that before Loney covered it up. Puts in no opportunities as the Sooners and the Warriors get some fresh feet, some fresh legs on the ice. It looks like it'll be Tristan Glass in the face-off dot for the Sooners.
Waldorf wins the face-off. Bassett has to chase after it. He's got Adams on his tail. Clears it, plays it forward, looking for Glass. Couldn't find him. Wallace throws it up. Adams again. Gets stepped into by Goldstein. That's a physical battle he's not going to win. And the Sooners clear it. Clean entry here for Waldorf. Bassett behind the net for the Sooners where the puck lies. Turns it over. Coughed up, Adams, and now the other way goes DuPont. Matthew DuPont tries to make a move, couldn't get it to go. Cavalcanti collects, plays it back to Goldstein. Excuse me, Jacob DuPont. Adams slap shot from center ice. Not a problem for BCB as he shakes his head. Almost offended that that was even attempted. Good play there. Now Mondu has it. Sooners in the zone. Centering feed, couldn't find DuPont. Sooners have to touch up. They do. Clear the puck in to Mondu. Reiger loses it at the blue line. Chases after it now. He's got open ice to work with. Plays it over to Swearingen on the right. Swearingen just looking to shovel it forward in the neutral zone. Wolk gets tied up with a stick. Sloppy puck possession for both teams. Capel now fires it in. Along the corner, Swearingen has Nemeth, who gets pinned to the boards. Now Porter Wolk plays it over to Matthew Demanchuk. Demanchuk makes a nice move. Can't skate around a man. Brenner's got it on his stick for the Warriors. Nemeth has an angle with the puck, has Capel on his right, ends up shooting it. Fought off by the pads of BCB. Has now stopped 22 of 22 shots. Over halfway done with this game here. Sooners still hanging on to that 1-0 lead. We've seen chances this period for both teams. Capel, tough angle shot there. Ended up getting blocked anyways. Sooners looking to just get it out of the defensive zone. They do. They're going to need a change here. Tired bodies on the ice. And now a turnover here. Porter Wolk circles the net. Plays it back to Carlisle. Wrist shot fought off by Loney. Played it right on Loney's center frame. Not at the best angle. Now Fodril loses it. McDonald chases back. Taze plays it in. McDonald takes a body. Takes a shot from Taze. Looking to spring forward. Fodril. Puck just evades Loney for the icing. We saw McDonald get grabbed by someone on the Waldorf bench. Would be hard for a referee to pick that up, but
exactly, especially with how the pace of play has picked up these last few stretches. Incredibly impressive. It was a long.
Would definitely be called unsportsmanlike if it was seen, but Carlisle will take the face off for the Sooners. Beckett for Waldorf. Connor Horn turns it over. Slap shot blocked. Now another chance here. Sharp angle shot fought off by BCB. Puck off its moorings, I believe. Carney. Good job there by Nate Payne stepping in front of the shot. Puck turned over. Payne just clears it. Connor Horn. Over to Fodril on his backhand. Puck gets lobbed up, and now the other way goes the Sooners. Jackson Fodril over to Nate Payne. Nate Payne looking for a centering feed to Carlisle. Couldn't find it. Now the other way goes Waldorf. Lebsack couldn't get sprung free. Sooners rim it around the boards. Owen Carlisle fights hard just in front of the Sooners bench. Puck turned over, and it dribbles into the neutral zone. Bassett on his backhand lifts it over to Fodril. Good pass there by Jackson Fodril over to Monticelli. Puck enters cleanly, rimmed around the boards, and now Carson Glass collects. Carson Glass over to Monticelli. Good move there by Monticelli. Plays it back for Bassett. Over to Carson Glass, trying to look for a backhand shot. Beckett gets it over to Carney. Stepped into by Nate Monticelli. Centered for Bells. Played back for Bassett. Collected by Goldstein. Carson Glass just shovels it forward. Monticelli collects. Offensive zone possession here for the Sooners, but no shots to show for. Now we get one as Carson Glass fires it wide of Loney. Puck played behind the net. Glass centers it. DuPont couldn't get a stick to it. Swearingen muffs the clearance. And we're going to get an offsides here against the Sooners.
I think the Sooners obviously had a tough time for the amount of time they were in the offensive zone, unable to get any shots off. And I think that's a credit to the Waldorf defense.
Fast-moving second period as just 5:17 remains on the clock, but chances for both ends. I would say this is definitely more of an even period for both teams.
Exactly. Shots have evened out 22-23 in favor of the Warriors as they still look to get one going on the board. The Sooners hoping to pad their lead.
Hayes loses the puck and regains possession. Throws it over to Wallace. He's able to clear it. Glass plays it on his backhand. DuPont has to wait for Cavalcanti to touch up, and he does. Matthew DuPont gets it in. Wallace collects for Waldorf. Nemeth turns it over. Sooners look for it. Cavalcanti finds it. Plays it down low to DuPont. Looking for a swinging Tristan Glass. Couldn't find him. And the puck exits the zone. Reiger collects. Dumps it. Played in behind Loney. He's got options. But he didn't have all day as DuPont nearly picked that off. BCB will play it off a stick to Reiger. Capel turns it over to Tristan Glass. Demanchuk too big of a touch there on the puck. Demanchuk steps into Wallace. Puck goes out of play. Should be an offensive zone faceoff for the Sooners. And it is. There's no delay game penalties here in the ACHA. These boards are really short, and then the netting obviously covers 75% of the ice, I would say. It doesn't cover the 25% where we're sitting, or standing rather, but.
No, definitely not. Definitely got to keep your eyes peeled, stay on your toes. No looking down at your phones while you're here at Arctic Edge.
Mondu with the face-off. Loses it to Dick. Then regains it. Shot goes wide. Porter Wolk had a good look there. McDonald collects, turns it over. Throws a poke check, throws a tackle. Then Porter Wolk, man, he's looked good tonight. He's been feisty on the puck. He's been creating turnovers and has had a few good looks offensively there as he gets another turnover going his way. Mondu has it looking to center for Demanchuk. Can't find it. Rebound there for Demanchuk. Just goes wide of the net. Wolk. McDonald fires one, gets blocked. Floats in. Loney puts a mid on it and freezes the puck with 3:28 left.
And as you mentioned earlier, freshman Porter Wolk not making an impact necessarily on the scoreboard, but his presence is definitely being felt in this game for the Sooners, creating a lot of chances for them on the offense. But as I mentioned earlier, neither team either really able to get anything going so far. With just 3.5 minutes remaining in this second period.
Top line out there for the Sooners. Payne, Carlisle, and Fodrell. McDonald and Horn on the back. Fodrell rips a shot through heavy traffic, gets blocked. Carlisle touches the puck back. McDonald wasn't ready for it, so he looks to just hold the point, and he does a good job of that. Fires it back into the zone. Loney trying to play it. Sooners have to touch up. Puck gets fired back in. Waldorf looking a little sloppy in their exits of the defensive zone. So another turnover here for Nate Payne. A couple bodies go flying. Nothing gets called. Loney covers, and we get another face-off.
Yeah, you mentioned a little bit sloppy there by Waldorf on the defense. Neither defense really making too many great plays tonight. A little bit sloppy in their own zones. Also got fresh legs for both teams.
Let's put it this way. Both defenses are making good plays defensively. Now springing that forward and trying to start the attack, that's where it gets a little sloppy.
That's where they're finding some difficulty.
That is still an aspect of defense. And so both teams trying to just find their legs and create chances for their offenses, but have struggled with that so far. Puck scrum just in front of the blue line for the Sooners. And Wallace plays it to Capel. Clears it on his backhand. That's going to float all the way down. Is it going to be enough for icing? Yes, it is. They're going to wave it off. I thought Goldstein had the angle on that, but I guess he didn't. Carson Glass. Over to Wallace. Bassett. Turns it over to Lebsack. Sooners doing a good job of forcing the puck off the sticks of attacking Waldorf players and high-scoring chances. Carson Glass comes away with the puck battle, turns it over. Now Lebsack gets it poked off his stick, floated all the way down. Got touched by a Waldorf player, so no icing there as Looney floats it all the way through. Lebsack plays it in to Baird, who knocks it down. They're going to say play with a hand pass, but that is going to stop play and get an offensive zone face-off here for the Warriors.
And the Warriors have had some good chances, just unable to get some quality shots off on the net so far. Doing a good job of keeping it in play. Only a few clears for the Sooners.
Cavalcanti's able to have the puck exit the zone as Beckett chases after it with a trailing DuPont. Puck turned over to Matthew DuPont. Backhand save by Loney. Right in his midsection, so he didn't have to move too far for that one, but a good chance there by the freshman Matthew DuPont picking up that clearance attempt from Waldorf.
Exactly, a great shot right off the dot, but Matthew Loney was ready in net after a turnover by one of his fellow Warriors. And that'll present another opportunity for the Sooners in their own offensive zone. Looks like Tristan Glass will be taking this face-off once again for the Sooners.
Third unit steps on there for Oklahoma, matches third unit for Waldorf. Get things situated for this face-off. Everybody ready. Minute 30 left as Zamboni peeks through behind Loney. Sooners would like to jump out to a 2-goal lead here going into the third period, but chances have been harder and harder to come by as time has progressed in the second. Horn has to chase after it. He's got Adams and Homestead behind him. DuPont been on the ice for a while looking for a change. Horn collects, plays it back to McDonald. Springs it forward to DuPont, who takes a check. Last plays it forward to Logan Cavalcanti. He can fly. There he goes, Logan Cavalcanti on his backhand, couldn't get it to go. We're gonna get a penalty for the Sooners and a rebound there for Tristan Glass. He's fought off by Looney. We're gonna get a hook here called against Waldorf, so a power play here with 45 seconds left. Caleb, Ben, and I, and you and I have talked about this, Amy. Power plays are, towards the end of periods, are really frustrating for teams because you go and you leave that period with all the momentum if you don't score, but it's so hard to get that same energy started at the start of a frame. So the Sooners would like to score here with 45 seconds left as Carney takes a seat.
Exactly, that energy just kind of gets sucked out of the power play. Once you go into the locker room to switch over, you can try to replicate it all you want once you're in the locker room during an intermission, but it's hard to do when the Sooner power play hasn't been great tonight. They've been 0 for 3 so far. They're going to try and change that right now, but they've been halted by the Waldorf penalty kill so far.
Glass takes the face off, gets it into the corner to Carlisle. Goldstein over to Carlisle, looking for a slap shot, looking for a passing lane to get it to Fodrell. He's wide open right now. Goldstein. Oh, Fodrell just had it in his skates for a second, couldn't collect the pass. He had a yawning cage to shoot at. 20 seconds left in the period. Sooners got to go now if they want to get this last chance in. 13 seconds left. Goldstein charging ahead with the full head of steam, plays it in. Looney with the puck, gets it to Goldstein. 3 seconds left. They need a shot here. Gets it. Oh, and a rebound there as time expires. Kills the end of the second period as the Sooners still lead 1-0 against Waldorf.
And you could hear Carlisle look back at the clock to see how much time he had, and the Benz yell shoot, trying to get one final shot off to keep that momentum going as Waldorf will continue to look strong on the penalty kill so far. A minute 15 remaining for the Sooners when we get back for the third period.
Now don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be back with your second period intermission reports shortly. Thank you for watching OU Hockey on OU Hockey TV. Welcome back, Sooner fans, to your second period intermission report. I'm Christian Markey, alongside me, Amy Acevedo. No goals scored in that second period, but a lot of chances for both teams.
Definitely. It was kind of surprising, honestly. It felt like quicker pace, better play from both teams, but no team able to make any progress. The Sooners unable to pad their lead, and the Warriors unable to cut into that Sooner lead. And 24 of 23 shots in favor of the Sooners. So the Warriors have definitely caught up, but again, nothing to show for it so far.
The shots ended that first period 17-16 in favor of the Sooners, and just another one-shot lead for the Sooners again going into this final frame. The Sooners are also going to have about a minute 15 left on a power play. We saw a hook there taken by the Waldorf captain, and the Sooners got a few good looks towards the end of the second period.
Exactly, definitely made some progress, and they're going to want to capitalize out. They're 0 for 3 so far in power plays, so far in this game, so that's something they're going to want to keep up. The good thing is that penalty came late enough in the period that they still have a good chunk of that penalty, so hopefully that won't knock too much of the wind out of their sails going into it. But pretty even. Also, we saw a penalty kill so far. Ben Mondu took the penalty for the Sooners, but the penalty kill looked great as we saw the top line on there for the kill for the Sooners.
And it's similar to what we saw last year for the Sooners, where the penalty kill was floating around 82%, which is really good for ACHA standards, but the power play was sitting around 15 to 17%, which is not ideal for an offense.
Exactly, especially for the Sooner offense that has so many incredible leaders and the seniors and the juniors, as well as some incredible fresh faces and the sophomores and the incoming freshmen. It's pretty surprising that they were unable to get anything started, but I think that's a testament to both of our goaltenders, Colbert Simbon and Matthew Loney for the Warriors, doing incredible jobs keeping their teams in this game, and nothing's been able to get by those two. They're brick walls and net so far tonight.
Yep, and the Sooners' chances that came in that second period were from good areas, but the shots that were produced from those opportunities weren't ideal. They were shot right into Looney's chest most of the time, so no chance there for a rebound, and no chance there to really put it past them when it's shot directly at them like that. And so that was different from how the first period, where the Sooners were putting it in good spots, but you had a post by Glass, and you had a few shots go just wide. So a little bit of a difference in how the Sooners ended up finishing their offensive chances in that second frame.
Exactly, I agree, and I think some of those chances also, we saw a few bit of whiffs on the puck, maybe a little bit dribbling past, and I think Waldorf, the defense, has done a great job at collecting those rebounds, trying to be able to clear those out. And like we mentioned, both of the defenses tonight having a hard time seeming to turn the puck over to their offense to get that started, doing a great job in front of their respective nets, but just unable to really clear the puck that much out of their own zone to get their offense started.
Well, the Sooners are clinging on to a one-goal lead here heading into the final frame of play with a minute 15 on the power play. We have an exciting third period to bring you here on OU Hockey TV. Thank you for tuning in. Welcome back, Sooner fans, to the start of the third period. Power play for Oklahoma for a minute 15 as Devin Carney sits in the box to open up the frame. That faceoff will be held at center ice. Fans getting fired up in the building here.
Yeah, the Sooners are definitely going to need to feed off of some of that energy to continue with the minute 15 remaining in their power play. They're going to want to get some shots off on this fresh ice.
And here we go.
Lead.
Puck shot into the defensive zone for the Sooners. Fodrell with it, gets it over to Goldstein. Carlisle with it now. He's got help with Goldstein, takes it himself. Owen Carlisle skates around a man looking for a centering feed. Finds Payne, shot, puck loose, scores! Tristan Glass on the rebound from Nate Payne. And the Sooners jump out to a 2-goal lead just 30 seconds in. Apologies for the voice crack.
An incredible shot there by Tristan Glass, being aware on the rebound. Owen Carlisle with an incredible shot. Nate Payne able to redirect it to Tristan Glass. An incredible shot for the Sooners, and that's definitely the right way you want to start off this power play, start off this third period, and clearly we are very excited up here in the booth.
Sound like a squeaky toy. So the Sooners get that beloved 2-goal lead, 35 seconds in. And it's the type of goal that you felt like needed to happen because the shots just weren't doing it. It had to be some sort of greasy cookie chance. And Tristan Glass is able to just sweep it in. Payne really creates that chance with that initial shot. Carlisle does all the work on the zone entry. And the Sooners get on the board as a delayed face-off going on here. Not sure, I think it's a clock issue.
Yeah, I believe they're trying to get the penalty off for, obviously the penalty power play, is now over for the Sooners. Trying to get that off the board.
Bolger wins the face-off for Waldorf, plays it in. Horn chasing it down, gets it over to McDonald. McDonald gets it back to Horn. A little bit of breathing room here for the Sooners as Adams gets a shot that's tipped. Rebound swallowed up by BCB. Zach Molstead with the second chance look.
And that's not exactly what you want to see if you're the Sooners on defense right off the score. Of course, now they have a 2-0 lead, but you don't want to start letting pucks get in. And we said that Waldorf looked dangerous in that second period, unable to get anything started, but you don't want to let them start now.
Defensive zone face-off here for the most recent goal scorer, Tristan Glass. Bolger ends up winning it, but Cavalcanti comes away with it. Turnover here, Bolger. He's got a man, elects to shoot. Shot blocked, saved by BCB. Loose in front of him, and the puck exits the zone all the way down the ice. Cavalcanti hoofing after, they wave it off. Don't know how that wasn't called an icing. Sooners won't complain, though. Quick shot for Glass, goes over the net. DuPont trying to play it on his backhand, pops it up, gives it over to Bassett. Goldstein, he's got a man on him, that's Bolger. He gets stapled to the boards. Tristan Glass still on the ice as Goldstein and Bolger go at it behind BCB. Willie Baird dumps it in, catches a stick, Bells chases after it. Josh Bells pins his man. Puck squirts free, collected by Waldorf. Bolger plays it on, caught by BCB for an offensive zone face-off for the Warriors.
And able to slow down the Warriors there a little bit at the end of that portion of play. The Sooners keeping that energy up, both teams. Incredibly quick-paced game by both of them. Eager to continue scoring for the Sooners, and a little bit of frustration seeking out on the Warrior bench from Waldorf. With some great chances so far, but nothing doing right now.
Lots of offensive zone face-offs for the Warriors, but so far nothing from it. Reiger cops it up, loses it to Taze. Shot from the point blocked by Jacob Reiger. Puck played, nearly enters the bench for OU. Now the other way goes Carlisle. He's got Payne on the wing. Carlisle, good pass block there Capel. It's a good 2-on-1 look for the Sooners, trying to jump that lead up to 3. Capel fires it in. Taze gets fought hard by Reiger. Puck comes back to the point. Slap shot. BCB saves it with ease. Fodrell takes a spill. Nate Payne collects the puck and loses it. Capel, drop back to Vignoli. Over to Reiger, who dumps it in. Now Loney in behind the net for Fodrell. Gives it up to his defensive players instead of just trying to make a pass himself. Koivunen skates around Horn, shoulder checks Horn in the face, and then stick checks him in the throat. That's going to be possibly a major. Horn took a high stick right to the Adam's apple. That does not feel good. So another power play here for the Sooners. This Horn's going to get checked out by that OU medical staff.
Evan Koivunen in the penalty box for the Warriors. Just 2-minute penalty. And I think this is where Waldorf might be struggling to get going. They're having some great opportunities, really heating up in the offensive zone, and then some penalties like that that are really knocking them down and giving the Sooners more momentum that could potentially cost them this game.
And they're continuing to be their own worst enemies here. That faceoff's won. Bassett and Baird were not on the same page there as that puck gets lofted out of the zone. Sooners have to touch up and re-enter. Mondu shoots it into Baird. Bassett trying to dump it in. Got a chance here created for the Sooners. Carson Bassett drops it off for Baird. Back over to Mondu. Back to Bassett. Back to Mondu. Held it at the point by Demanchuk. Baird with a chance there, couldn't bury it on Loney. He was stuffed on that attempt. He had to collect the puck momentarily before he could just shoot that on net. It was caught in his skates, but nonetheless a good look there. Another great saucer pass from Mondu to Baird. And DuPont shovels it forward. Across the line, good entry there. Here comes Mondu. Shot, scores! Matthew Demanchuk on the feed from Mondu, and the Sooners jump out to a 3-goal lead on the power play.
And this is exactly the type of improvement you want to see from the Sooners on the power play. Some incredible stick work and footwork from Mondu, going between the legs of himself and some opponents to get it up, to get the goal score.
When he's not scoring, he's creating. He's been doing that all night and finally gets rewarded with an apple. As if at first you don't succeed, try again. And finally the Sooners cash in on the power play. Waldorf bench still not deterred as Carlisle wins the faceoff. He's got to skate around 4 Waldorf players. Still plenty of time left in this game. Puck tied up on the blue line for a second. Waldorf comes away with it. Adams plays it up to Bolger. He's got Molstad on the wing. Couldn't find him. Horn dumps it out of the zone. Picked up by Bender. McDonald looking to step up Adams. Adams ends up just losing the puck. And now Nate Payne gets it over to Carlisle. Carlisle's got space. Owen Carlisle, toe drag shot, fought off by Looney, and he swallows up the rebound. Carlisle has had so many good looks tonight, but they've just been right in the breadbasket for Matthew Looney.
And despite the 3-goal lead for the Sooners, I think Carlisle's a little frustrated with himself. Like you said, the plethora of opportunities he's had. But Looney did a great job there to snuff out that puck as the Sooners were coming in hot and unable to let another Sooner get a chance to put that between the net.
In order to satisfy the ACHA computer, the Sooners will need to score as many goals as humanly possible in these games to get in good standing with that, so they can continue to push forward throughout the season and try to make the national tournament in March. And it all starts here tonight, and they've done a good job so far getting 2 goals here in the third period as Carson Glass fights along the end boards. Eventually gives it up to Bells, who's got space behind the net. Flips it back to Swearingen. Reiger wanted the puck on the other side of things. Bells dumps it back. Carson Glass fighting hard. Gets thrown around by Dominic Tays. Swearingen not able to keep it in. Now Nemeth collects on his backhand, surveying for options to pass to, gets it back to the point. Shot floated in, wide to BCB. Puck played high and out of the zone. All the way down the ice, Monticelli chasing after it. Vignaroli beats him, and that is an icing against the Sooners.
I think the Warriors are feeling the repercussions of that power play now, having gone down from 1-0 to 3-0. Not an impossible mountain to climb, especially with 14 minutes still remaining. But I think they're seeing that momentum play into the Sooners' hands so far, and you don't want them to score any more goals if you're Waldorf.
These next 4 minutes are so crucial when you have a 3-goal lead. You really just want to kill off the clock, but also not be passive offensively, because they would love to jump up 4, even 5 goals if possible, while still maintaining defensive standing. A shutout here would look good on paper. Puck played in on Looney. Gives it over to Vignaroli. Turned over on the stick of Mondu. Quick shot from Wolk. Swallowed up by Looney. Tough angle there for Porter Wolk to get anything going, but what a good job there by Mondu, puck jacking Anderson there, creating another offensive opportunity for the Sooners.
And we talked about the number of opportunities that Carlisle's had tonight, and Wolk is another one of those players who it's surprising that one of the goals on the board has not come off of his stick yet. But he's continuing to be eager to make one of those plays, and he'll want to make an impact tonight.
That's it, floats it in deep. Demanchuk, the most recent goal scorer, plays it back to Bassett. Wrist shot off the pads of Loney. Played down low to Mondu. Pressured by Dick. Mondu on his backhand. Loses it on the face-off dot, but then recollects. Poor pass there, ends up turning it over, and now the other way goes Anderson for the Warriors. He finds Dick. Scrum along the boards. Sooners come away with it, and they're able to clear. Demanchuk has numbers up front. Gets it over to Wolk. Plays it over to Mondu. Mondu, a couple of nice moves there, but ends up coughing it up. Olmsted turns it over to Demanchuk, and they play with a hand pass there. But it'll give the Sooners a chance to change, as that group was on the ice for quite some time.
Exactly, and surprisingly, despite being on the ice for so long, they were still full of energy. I think those few power play goals have really, and the power plays themselves have really re-energized the group as they try to continue to widen that goal differential, like you said, so important to those ACHA ranking computers. And I think the Sooners felt a little bit slighted last season that they were unable to make it the first team out of the tournament in St. Louis, and they're looking to change that this year.
McDonald shovels it over to DuPont, who shovels it into the zone. Carney pressured by Cavalcanti. Wallace back to Carney for Waldorf. Waldorf looking to exit cleanly here. They can't. Picked up by Tristan Glass. Played over to Matthew DuPont. Back to Glass. Loses it for a second. McDonald wisely doesn't jump up on that. Negates the 2-on-1. Instead, 2-on-2 the other way for Waldorf. Saucer pass over to Wallace. Just outside the faceoff dot. Shot tip. Blockered away by BCB, who has stopped 30 for 30 so far. Put that in an ESPN documentary. Puck cleared all the way. Battle for icing here as DuPont tries to skate around a man. He can't. It was close. It was close. Tie goes to the runner, though. Icing against the Sooners.
Yeah, and you could hear the groans from the Sooner bench, although they're in a lot less precarious position right now with that 3-goal lead. And as you mentioned earlier, they don't want to become too complacent with that. I mean, this Waldorf team has been pretty quick and going as of late, but I think the Sooners can relax a little bit now that they have a 3-goal lead to work with, as it'll be Glass taking it in the face-off dot.
Face-off tie there, you could say, and now a race for it. Matthew DuPont with Cavalcanti as a helper. Another puck skirmish along the end boards. DuPont comes away with it, whiffs on his pass. Now Carlisle has it on his forehand, backhand. Oh, and Carlisle can't get it past Loney. He has continued to have chances time and time again as that puck's held in. Sooners went off for a change, so no help for Carlisle as Fodrell tries to forecheck. Continue to create pressure against the Warriors. Clarence pass gets knocked down, ends up working. Capel gets stood up by Swearingen. They're going to call a penalty for that. Oh.
bit disappointing for the Sooners and probably for Swearingen. We saw him make that play earlier in the game.
I don't know about that one. And Arvanitis is saying the same thing from the bench. That puck was right there.
Yeah, a little bit inconsistent on the calls. But luckily for the Sooners, they have a 3-goal lead to work with. Unfortunate call, but they'll hope to continue their streak of killing off penalties tonight for the Warriors.
Special teams working offensively for the power play goal. And we'll see what they can do defensively here. Josh Bells to take the face off against Bolger. Bolger wins it. Carson Glass gets the turnover, dumps it down. Looney, lackluster play behind the net, nearly coughs it up. Glass would have had a good look there for a shorthanded chance. Bolger gets it into skates, collects, skates around Horn on the face-off dot. Bolger, wrist shot, rebound there. BCB has it. More extracurriculars continue as BCB makes another outstanding save.
Incredible, right in front of the crease, in front of him. The puck was flying around, bouncing around, and he did a great job to stay calm and composed and keep that out of the net. It doesn't look like there will be any additional penalty add-ons for the Sooners. Connor Horn was getting into it with Auden Capel.
They're gonna bring this face off. Bring this face off into the neutral zone for the Sooners. Couldn't hear the explanation from head referee on the ice, but Bells against Bolger again. This time, Bells wins it. Floats it back to McDonald. He's got room to clear this. He does. Bignaroli collects, though. Adams, after Waldorf touches up, gets hit by Connor Horn, and then Bells lays a hit as well. Chance there for Waldorf, and oh, what a kick save from BCB! Another chance there for BCB, saved! Oh my goodness. What a kick save there by the Sooner senior. Bolger dances around a man, centers it, can't find it, Glass goes down. Blocker save by BCB again. Fighting off demons down there as the Sooners do end up clearing the puck. What an effort there by number 31. Nemeth enters the zone cleanly. He's got Bassett on him. Takes it on his backhand. Poked away by BCB. Vignaroli now around the faceoff dot. Gets it in behind the net. Wraparound chance. Rebound there for Waldorf. Puck loose. Another chance saved by BCB. Stone cold.
And I think the Wizards are going to have some not so fond memories, at least of the first game of this trip so far. I think any other goaltender across the country, a few of those shots would be going in, but when you have Brendan Culverson Bond and yet the 5th-year senior, I mean, there's not much more you can do. It's frustrating for the Wizards or the Warriors, and we can see that on the bench from them. But when you have Culverson Bond and Ben, it's pretty much a lock for the Sooners.
30 seconds left on the power play. Puck held in for a moment. Then it exits. Good job there by Wolk, getting his stick in there. Now Wallace enters cleanly, dumps it around, rims around the boards. Cut off by Goldstein, looking to clear it, shovels it into a Waldorf player. Nemeth first to the puck, plays it back to Dominic Tays. Over to the point to Wallace, looking for a shot, tipped, saved by BCB again. Puck exits the zone for the Sooners, and that will do it for this Waldorf power play. So the Sooners are 2 for 2 on the penalty kill. BCB nearly doing all the work down there for them, but it's a team effort, and it's 3-0 for the Sooners as we have gone just under 10 minutes left in this final frame. Nate Payne chases after it. Tays pressuring, ends up coming away with the puck. Couldn't find a man, and that will go all the way down for Loney to play. Dodrill pressuring on the forecheck. Carlisle there to help. Offsides against the Warriors.
And the Warriors getting a little bit tangled up by themselves, almost running into their own teammates a little bit there as they're trying to get something started once again. I think it kind of takes the wind out of a team's sails when you have so many incredible shots, when you have BCB and net, an absolute wall between the posts, not letting anything through. And there's still 9 minutes left in this game, a little over. But it's going to be pretty difficult for the Warriors to get anything started right now.
Face-off one, Connick floats it in. Reiger there for the Sooners. makes a nice move. Evades 2 pressuring Waldorf Warriors. Now the puck played forward to Mondu. Connacht is going to get there first. Sweeps it away. Now the other way goes Waldorf. Clark played off his stick. Good job there by Reiger, choking up the zone for an entry. And BCB will just hold on to it.
And we're starting to hear and see some more frustration from Waldorf on their bench. I think they had a plethora of opportunities, especially in the second period, where it literally looked like they could get on the board and knot things up with the Sooners, but so far they've just been outplayed so far, and I think those penalties and power plays for the Sooners earlier on in this period really set them on the right course.
8:46 left in the final frame. Sooners able to come away with it, and they have a 2-on-1. Matthew DuPont over to Logan Cavalcanti. Cavalcanti with speed. Wrist shot blockered away by Loney. Waldorf did a good job reacting to that defensively. Now the other way goes Waldorf. Homestead shot blockered away by BCB. Players tumble on the ice. No arms are raised. And the other way goes the Sooners. Matthew DuPont again leading the rush. He's got Tristan Glass with help. DuPont elects to hold on to it. Dumps it in, takes a hit. Holstead fires it in on BCB. No problem for him there. Goldstein back to DuPont. Cavalcanti is able to just get a blade on it to tip it out of the zone. Warriors have to touch up. Bassett off a Waldorf stick and back into possession of Vignaroli. Shot goes wide to BCB. Bulger with a rebound, sails over the net. Might have caught a piece of something. Nemeth. Carson Glass now. Ends up winning that puck. Good job there defensively by Carson Glass. Call him a two-way forward at this point. So BCB just holds on to that. Bassett took an extra shove there from Bulger. Referee in there to break it up.
And I think if you're Waldorf right now, you do not want to take any more unnecessary penalties, especially in these last 7 minutes and 20 seconds of play. There's still plenty of time to get on the board, but putting yourself a man down just isn't the right move right now. And I think that's a little bit frustrating for the Warriors on the bench.
Carlisle will take the face-off against Dominic Tays. Tays wins it. Quick shot. Paddled away by BCB. Didn't have much on it. Now the other way goes Owen Carlisle. Nice dangle around a man. Tays plays it back. Shovels it forward to Wallace. Wallace loses a blade, gets stepped up by Swearingen. Nemeth loses it back to Nate Payne. Chance here for Carlisle. He just didn't have enough gas in his tank. So that goes out of play again. Not as hard as that first shot was.
No, but it was definitely coming towards the corner that we're sitting on. A little bit shaky up here, and you can definitely feel that as the puck hit one of the posts. A little bit more time for us to react, though.
The structural integrity of this stand is not the best, so if we can minimize the amount of pucks that are hitting the support beams, that'd be much appreciated. Yeah. I think the referees are having a discussion about where to put this face off, as the boards are so small here. In a normal sized rink where the boards behind the benches aren't that small, that probably would have stayed in. Wallace, after a Waldorf face-off, plays it up to Dominic Tays, gets stood up by Goldstein. Goldstein ends up falling down after laying that hit. Puck turned over. Nemeth shot, fought off by BCB. Now the other way goes Nate Payne. He's got bodies in front of him. Fodrell has Carlisle on the wing. Jackson Fodrell shot, and a good job there by Wallace to get down and block that. Looked like that caught a piece of his ankle. That doesn't feel too good.
No, looked like he was a little bit in pain there, but a great job to keep this deficit at only 3 goals for his team. An incredible shot from Fodrell, the freshman. 4 points last time out against the Razorbacks, so he's also looking to get one on the board tonight. Had some incredible shots so far, but nothing in for him right now.
Mondu against Dick for the face-off. Dick wins it back to Connick. Connick loses the puck to Manchuk. Nearly sprung it forward. He has to touch up, though. Ends up just playing it in for Looney. Connor Horn, shot, swallowed up by Looney again. Smart shot there by Horn. There was traffic in front of the net. Looney was able to just sieve it out.
Yeah, far shot from the blue line. Had a little bit on it, but unable to get past Looney, and I think he's really trying to minimize those attempts right now. 35-39 with shots in favor of the Warriors, but still nothing to show for him. And that was something that Coach talked about a lot last year, wanting to keep that shot count down, especially for the opposing team. Unable to right now, but I'm not sure how much he'll care about it after this game if this one stays 3-0.
Sooners was the faceoff. Yeah, you mentioned that. And, you know, this is a team that went 3-27 last year, so they're a little rough around the edges, but if you're putting up near 40 shots in your first game defensively, I can imagine Coach Arvanitis won't be too happy about that. As Cavalcanti comes away with it. Wrist shot. Caught a body. Glass plays it back to Reiger. His touch ends up turning it over. Anderson with Koivunen on the wing. And a good defensive play by Swearingen as that puck is swallowed up by BCB. That puck was bouncing there for Koivunen. Couldn't get a good stick on it, ends up losing it. BCB pounces on the opportunity.
And BCB once again doing an incredible job in net, but I think we have to give a lot of credit to Swearingen there, doing a great job to kind of break that up for the Waldorf Warrior, heading for the net, unable to get anything. And while he might have had that penalty a little bit earlier, which was a bit controversial, we decided he's made a great impact on the game defensively, and you can't count out his presence on the team.
Bolger wins the faceoff, but Carson Glass shovels it forward. Now Willie Baird with some speed. Willie Baird skates around a man. He's got Bells behind him. Drops it back for Bells. Bells gets bodied. McDonald laying the lumber. Puck scrum on the side of the faceoff dot. Let's see who comes away with it. And Waldorf does, but then turn it over. Glass able to keep it in, knocked down by Bells. Kept the stick low enough there. Baird fights hard. Field clearance there. Here's Carson Glass. Catches a body. And the other way goes Waldorf. Caught the Sooners on a line change there momentarily. Shot played in on BCB, swallowed up and saved. I will say a lot of these shots since the shot counter's been put on the board for us here have been kind of from they've been from center ice, essentially. They've been a lot of clearance attempts that ended up just going on BCB. I would say about 5 or 7. So yeah. That's one of those things where on paper it looks a lot worse than it actually is. But nonetheless, BCB, it's not easy to face 40-plus shots, which he's done tonight, and fought all of them off so far. He's got 4:41 left to keep it. But a goose egg on for the Warriors as the Sooners have put up triple. Offsides there. You could see it from a mile away for the Sooners. Nate Payne couldn't. He had his head down there, and that's why he proceeded.
And I think if we're talking about the Sooners, they've done a great job. I think Brendan Culbertson-Bond would agree about eating away that time on the clock without being too passive, keeping it relatively out of their own defensive zone right now, as the faceoff will be taken in the neutral zone.
Owen Carlisle wins it for the Sooners. Bassett plays it into the netting.
And immediately back out of play.
We will do it again. Puck this time going to be held at center ice for the face-off. It's about 10 yards of difference, maybe not even that. But this time Waldorf wins it. Wallace gets it over to his partner, who swings it forward to Nemeth. Tipped in there, so no icing. Bassett chases after it. He's got Taze on him. Goldstein shovels it forward to Nate Payne. Now Owen Carlisle making a couple nice moves, gets it over to Fodrell. Fodrell enters. Skates around, dances the blue line, trying to find Payne. Could have fed him for a good chance there. Capel trying to spring forward Carlisle. Sooners starting to look a little more tired here as times progress. They played hard. Carlisle turns it over. Captain for Waldorf. Swearingen slaps it in, takes a hit hard in front of the bench. And Wallace behind the net. Gets it over to Clark. I don't think Demanchuk knew where the puck was, and that's why it sat there momentarily before Vignaroli took it away. Puck batted down by Wolk. Just about 3 minutes to go as Culbertson Bond pins it to the net with his blocker. Stretching hard for that.
Always has his eyes on the prize, and that's why he's so good at keeping it out of the back of his own net. And the Sooners definitely do look a little winded right now, putting in a lot of effort to not only maintain that 3-0 lead, but to grow it if they can. Nothing right now, but with a little over 3 minutes remaining in this period, it's looking like it'll be a win for the first game of the season for the Sooners.
Face-off won by Waldorf. Shot on to BCB. And we have a 2-on-1 here for the Sooners if they hurry. Tristan Glass has Logan Cavalcanti on the wing. Glass tried to pass it over to Cavalcanti, but it ended up getting Carney in the skates. And Loney comes away with it. It was an eerie silence for a moment there. That was strange.
Yeah, I was waiting for a call to be made or something.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't see anything. It definitely was a little quiet in here. No one really reacted.
No one moved. No one reacted. Everybody just time stood still in Arctic Edge for a moment. But you get Tristan Glass. Face off here against Bolger. Bolger does a good job of dancing around Glass to win it. Comes ahead and runs into the Sooner defense. Offside there. Should have been offsides and it wasn't. But we play on here as McDonald gets it over. Puck exits the zone. Waldorf has to touch up. In behind the net, Connor Horn. Whiffs on his pass. Able to collect it though. McDonald now. Turnaround slap shot blocked by a Sooner defenseman. Tristan Glass was looking to spring forward DuPont. Now Cavalcanti and DuPont. Drop pass, DuPont. Trying to skate around a man, he's able to get a stick on it. Puck shoveled all the way down, not on net, so it should be an icing, and it is. 2:02 left in the final frame. Sooners have a 3-goal lead. Thanks to Brendan Culbertson Bond in net, as well as Demanchuk, Glass, and Josh McDonald, the newcomer.
Exactly. Nice to see the goals spread across multiple grade levels. A senior in Glass, sophomore in Demanchuk, and a freshman in McDonald.
Face-off tied up. Molstead goes the other way for Waldorf. Molstead on his forehand shovels it towards net. Caught a piece of something, went wide. Now Carson Glass with a full head of steam. Wins the puck battle for a moment. Picked up by Monticelli. Monticelli loses it in his skates. Turned over. Now the other way goes Vignaroli for Waldorf. Vignaroli loses it. Back to Bassett. Monticelli in the defensive zone for the Sooners makes a nice backhand pass, springs forward Carson Glass, but the Sooners are going for a line change, so he just has to keep going with it. Now in comes Matthew DuPont, trying to play the puck instead of the body. Swearingen. They're exchanging aerial passes here, back-to-back aerial passes. Just hoping one of those don't get tipped up here, but puck stayed in. All the way down should be icing, and it is. Exactly 1 minute left in this game. Sooners still maintaining that 3-0 lead with an offensive zone face-off. Should give them a good edge here to kill most of the remaining time in this game.
And I think this is obviously the more goals the better, but I think this is a great way to go into tomorrow night's game as well. Having the momentum on your side. A 1-0 win, hey, a win would still be a win, but I think proving to themselves, the Sooners, that they can get 3 scores on the board and fight against what's been a tough Waldorf team despite their record last year will be great for them. And I'm going into tomorrow night and starting off ACHA play 1-0.
Puck sprung forward. Nemeth looking for a centering feed at Taze. BCB stood strong on that, got his stick and blocked it away. Tristan Glass with it now, 30 seconds left. Glass Gives it back to Cavalcanti in the neutral zone. Puck played forward, no icing. Just 20 seconds left as time continues to bleed off. Warriors just playing for pride here at this point. As Baird cuts off the pass, dumps it in, kills off more seconds. Now just under 10, Anderson takes a check. Horn gets a stick from his own player this time. 2 seconds left, and that will do it. BCB 41 save goose egg shutout for the super senior as the Sooners cap off this opening night 3-0.
And he's getting the stick taps and all the love and hugs from his teammates. An incredible job. Some great goals by Glass, Demanchuk, and newcomer Josh McDonald. An incredible show so far for the Sooners. Started off a little bit slow, but improvement on the power play in the game. An excellent penalty kill. I think there's a lot that Coach Arvanitis and the rest of the staff can be proud of.
I'd like to thank you guys for tuning in to OU Hockey on OU Hockey TV as teams will wave off their respective fans here, and we will tune you out to the Pride of Oklahoma. I'm Christian Markey. Alongside me is Amy Acevedo. We thank you for watching us. Have a good night.